Hi everyone. Regular watchers of this channel will know that I do not hold The Guardian in too high of an esteem. I still think they're the second best outlet in the country, major outlet that is. But that's not saying much. It's like saying it's tall and kid in class. I think it's the Independent, and they're better, but not much better. They're still an establishment rag. But The Guardian have descended in the last 7 years into. They've had a rapid decline into just a propaganda outlet now. I mean, look at all their hit pieces on Julian Assange, who they used to defend. Now, they don't bother. And it all happened curiously after the Snowden revelations that Glenn Greenwald released when he was working at The Guardian. After that, they've just rapidly declined into a propaganda construct now. And they did a headline yesterday on a story which just perfectly highlights how bad they've become. And the story was about this, the Washington Post. I won't read this, I'll just give you an overview because there is inaccuracies in the Washington Post story, but they have got a lot of things right that other outlets got wrong. But there was a temporary ceasefire between Palestine and Israel, and they talked, and Israel broke it. They launched an undercover operation and killed a Hamas commander. Hamas responded, fired 300 rockets back at Israel for this murder, and 300 rockets sounds a lot, but these are not the most sophisticated rockets in the world. They do cause damage. Dozens of them were intercepted by anti-missile defences by Israel, and many of them landed in open ground, in open areas, and obviously caused no damage. In response to that, Israel launched 70 rockets back at Hamas and Palestine. Here's one of them landing. Just thought I'd show you this because this is it's not the devastation. Just look at what they did to this target. Okay, so that's an Israeli response to these rockets that Palestine fired in response to their leader being murdered and the ceasefire being broke. That was a TV station. Israel accused it of spreading Hamas propaganda. We're going to bomb it, evacuate. They evacuated, so nobody was killed. Fair play to them for that. At least they gave full warning and they didn't kill journalists. But they blew up the TV station. It was back on air a few hours later, thankfully. But I just want to give you an overview of the story. That is basically what's happened over there. I've tried to be as fair as possible in that and unbiased and give you the facts of what's happened. This was the Guardian headline. Israeli officer killed during Gaza raid in which 7 Palestinians died. So the Israeli officer was killed. The 7 Palestinians just died. It was Caitlin Johnson, the wonderful Caitlin Johnson. I must ask her if she will come on this channel and do an interview. She's sort of a hero of mine. Anyway, she caught this. She tweeted this out. She's so funny, so good. You must read her. At least once a week, please read one of her articles. Oh, the Palestinians died. What did they die of? Cancer, heart disease, renal failure due to uncontrollable diabetes. That's very unfortunate. Maybe they should have eaten less red meat. I sure am angry at whoever killed that Israeli officer, though. Do you see how propaganda works? I mean, they corrected it. They corrected the headline afterwards, after there was an outrage from people in the comments. 8 dead in undercover Israeli operation in Gaza. 7 Palestinians and Israeli officer killed during raid as Netanyahu cuts short Paris visit. How difficult is it to write that headline? But they decided to go with that one instead. It reminds me of this. The Guardian aren't the only ones that do this. I've highlighted this before. I know I've come down on the Guardian hard, but that's just because they used to be good. Other outlets in the country do it as well, all of them to be quite honest, including the Independent, although the Independent are generally better, especially on Palestine and Israel. But the BBC do it as well. This is something I've covered before that you may not have seen on the channel. 9th of August 2018 this was. BBC released this headline, this story, on the 9th of August, Israeli airstrikes kill woman and toddler. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that headline. That's exactly what happened. And it's totally accurate and totally unbiased. Gives the people what they need to know, all the information they need to know from the headline. Good work, BBC. Israel didn't like it there. Israel Foreign Office has issued a formal complaint to the BBC World after their Gaza headline. Israel didn't like it. Literally within minutes of the complaint, BBC changed the headline to this: Gaza airstrikes kill woman and child after rockets hit Israel. So what? Gaza have launched airstrikes, they've killed a woman and child, and the rockets hit Israel. That makes it sound that like Palestine launched the rockets, they hit Israel and killed the woman and child, when it was actually the other way round. That's accurate. Complaint. Well done for Ben Norton from the Real News, I think it was at the time, who spotted that. That's the state of the media in this country, and why we need to support people who are independent, people who are independent like me, and need your support to carry on. And with that in mind, I'm actually going to make a conscious effort going forward to stop using corporate outlets as sources of, to explain what's going on with a story. I'm going to try and find in future, rather than display the Guardian, the Independent, BBC, blah 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 blah, to explain a story, I'm going to try and use, the Canary, for instance, Novara Media, the Real News, Mint Press, Electronic Intifada, other organisations that I actually respect, rather than highlighting the Guardian, the Independent, the BBC, because all they are is just propaganda outlets. You can see that headline perfectly, in my eyes, highlights the paper's rapid decline into just a propaganda outlet, like the rest of the corporate media in this country. Support independent media. We give you the facts. They give you the propaganda. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. Independent voices like mine, I'm sure you're aware by now, are being censored across all social media platforms, so please like and comment on the videos. That really does help the channel out, and share the videos wherever you can to grow the audience. If you can, please support me on Patreon. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. I cannot do this without your help. I rely on your donations. Thanks very much for your support. It really is appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.